So I came across this quote from a science fiction writer the other day where he basically says that he spent all of his life pursuing knowledge, and at the end of the day he realized that he'd wasted all that time learning knowledge because he could have just gone into banking. What does he mean by this? For me, somebody who has studied international relations and history, this quote makes me think of my own life and how I grew up in a pretty Christian environment where I was taught that money was evil. And I think that this concept still exists in American Western society to a great degree, more than it does in other cultures. And so when I was a kid, I wasn't taught about finance in school. The only thing I was really taught about was in 7th grade. I was given some time in class to learn about balancing a budget, writing checks, which is an important skill. But I wonder, even classes that do teach about the real world application of money in elementary school and high school, how many of these classes are just talking from the bottom up, not the top down? What I mean is they're just kind of teaching the skills in how to survive in society, but not how to thrive in society. There's a difference between learning about how to spend $100 correctly in terms of balancing a budget. I need to buy my groceries, I need to buy gas, and how to use $100 to make it get bigger. And as I get older, I wonder, was I not taught this because A, the people teaching me also believed in this money is evil concept and they did not understand everything fully? Or B, it was done on purpose because other people actually benefit from most of society not realizing the power of money in today's society, the full power of money in today's society. But it also goes beyond the education system. Growing up, a lot of the movies that I watched, the people in finance, the people with money, were framed as the bad guy in movies. And so my same question goes towards them. However, there's a third reason that they might be making movies like this, and that they have realized the power of money, the actual power in money in society, and they are angry at the way the world is. So now they are just kind of framing the argument in their movies, which is getting another generation to have the same views of them that led them down the road of not understanding the true power of money. But this gets into a deeper question about the importance of knowledge in the world, at least the modern world, and just a general question of what is the purpose of a human's goals in life. I would say survival, but I also believe that in this survival, people generally go through their lives either wanting security or freedom, or a mix between the two. And why is that? If this guy has gone through his life and he's realized that actually banking, actually money is the most important thing to him, why did he come to that conclusion? I'm guessing he believed that all the world's problems could be solved by banking, or he believed that his own life would be better if he had gone into banking. So from a security perspective, it's pretty easy to understand why being in banking, having more money is important, because you can use the money to buy things to make yourself more secure, like a house. But from a freedom perspective, it is a little bit more nuanced. As you get older, you realize that you're not as free as you were led to believe as a kid. Follow your dreams. But that isn't just about when you're 18 years old, you know that, okay, following my dreams to becoming a musician might not actually get me anywhere. But it's more complicated than that. The economy, even though it is based off human needs, it is somewhat man-made, and there are only so many positions in the economy that can be filled. So if you spend your days studying one skill only to find that that skill is useless in companies because all those roles are filled, your freedom is being hurt. You do not have the freedom to do what you want. But that gets back to this dichotomy between freedom and security, and this guy's belief that banking is the answer to things. I also had a conversation recently with somebody who said that people who go into banking and tech are usually the most intelligent people. I understand where that is coming from, because if society is based off the value of money, and those jobs are the most valued careers in society because they make the most money, that would make sense. But we need to turn back to this idea of security and freedom and its relationship with money, and its relationship with one's own purpose in life. If you go into these two careers, sure, you are becoming wealthy, and that therefore you have security, but do you necessarily have freedom? Because some of these jobs require a lot of time. People here on TikTok show their lives getting up really early in the morning to go to the airport, to fly somewhere, to meet with CEOs, and then coming back late at night and having to send an email at 2 in the morning. These are people in finance. And then you have people in tech who are working lots of hours to make lots of money. And sometimes those jobs are stuck in places that are really expensive. Take Los Angeles in America, or Beijing, or Shenzhen in China. So obviously there is some downfall to following careers that are quote unquote, you are intelligent for doing this, or banking gives you the freedom. So what is the purpose of money and its relationship to the individual and his or her ability to have security and freedom? I don't think it really depends what position you have. It's really just, do you realize how valuable money is in the modern society and how it can buy you freedom? Because, like it or not, people around the world right now, because of the internet and their access to knowledge, and this guy was saying that learning knowledge doesn't seem to be that important anymore, because people all around the world can have access to the same amount of knowledge now, we as humans are not as different as we were 50, 60 years ago. When my grandparents were a kid, they actually lived in a basically better society than people living in Asia or in Mexico. And sure, some of those places have crime, but generally the people in lots of these countries are just as intelligent as people in the developed world. And the only difference really is their access to money. So what do you do with information? Once you realize that money is the most important thing in society, how do you use that to get your own security and freedom? And it doesn't necessarily need to be becoming a banker, someone in tech, or somebody in finance. What do you think? Bye-bye.